I saw things this past Saturday night, my darlings, that I can't share with you. I can't tell you who I saw and what I saw them doing. I can't share with you the looks on their faces. And I can't share with you some details about John. And I think everyone understands that, and thank you so much. But when we do this again, I'm going to let the device talk. And I think everyone kind of knows. Sometimes the cards get dark. And I've put out the cards a few times since Saturday night, thinking that, okay, maybe it's me. Maybe, I don't influence the energy, but maybe something's up. And it is. I've got some dark cards out today. You're going to really enjoy this deck. It is a gift from one of our people in the community. And this is the box. The Lost Soul Tarot. It's a beautiful, nice box, and it comes with a little booklet. And if you like this sort of thing, you will love these cards. And when you see them, you'll love them even more. So I want to thank her for sending those to me. And we're going to use just these two decks so far today. Now, I said some things in the live stream Saturday night, this past Saturday night. I'll link it here if you want to watch it. That I think is going to happen, and especially with Proctor. But I have a question for you, my darlings, and that is this. Why does someone have to lose their life for this corruption to come out? Why do innocent people have to suffer for the corruption and the mass evil in mass come out? Why do people, when they get in their mind, want to convict, condemn innocent people so perhaps they can hide evil deeds themselves? John is the biggest victim in this. And you would think some of these defendants are the victims. Karen has definitely been a victim in her own right, and so has Aiden, aka Turtle Boy, Dr. Dove, Dr. What bless, whatever he wants to be called is fine with me. But everyone's holding their own and they're fighting, and because of people like you that watch these videos and watch everyone, and you donate and you go to fundraisers, they have support. And that's exactly, and I'm just going to say it over and over again, I feel there is a divine inspiration over those two people on this earth. The most unlikely people you would ever think. And that's how it works. That's how it works. Look in the Bible if you want to compare that, right? The most unlikely people are used to sometimes make the biggest changes in this world. There's big changes coming. I know what the cards have been saying, and I'm going to put them out again. And we're going to see. We're going to ask the energies, show me where we are going with this Karen, Turtle Boy, Proctor, ham defendants, ham sandwiches, you name it, right? It's the continuing saga, the chronicles of the ham. Sorry, I even cracked myself up. The chronicles of the ham. I don't know why I put it that way, but it is what it is. We're going to ask the cards. And my darlings, this is the first time that I've used these cards on video. So this is an honor for me to bring them to you. Aren't they beautiful? And this design is a little bit raised, so you can feel it's very beautiful. Here we are, my darlings. First card. The Eight of Wands. the Ace of Wands, the Page of Cups. My goodness. Let's read this first row first. They got a long row hoe, basically. Who's a hoe? Anyway, we know. Anyway, the Eight of Wands. It's a pretty card. This Eight of Wands denotes, the wands, my darlings, are fire element. They are all about creativity. Keep that in mind. The creativity of people that may have been at 34 Fairview that evening when John lost his life, when he was given a ticket to the upper room. The Eight of Wands means that more is coming quickly. And today's the 15th, and I even said Saturday night on the 15th, we're, as of today, now you may have not seen it yet, I've been kind of watching, but I'm also going to say that behind the scenes, things are boiling. Get ready, get snacks ready, because by Saturday, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. Okay, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. This Ace of Wands is a timing card. Fire element, all about creativity once again, but it's timing. And what this tells me is that what we're going to see now is time to have more creative information. I believe there was a lot of creativity in trying to manipulate, yes, I said it, what had happened on the early morning hours of January 29th of 2022. There's a lot of common denominators, I think, between Sandra Birchmore, John O'Keefe, Snowstorm, cops, breeding into, yes, each investigation. The Page of Cups. Isn't she a beauty? This Page of Cups is a water element, and it's going to be emotional. And not only that, it's the Yes card. It's the wish come true, the dreams fulfilled, and we will have our dreams of seeing silver bracelets on some of these people. And that will be, won't that be a luscious day? There will be so many celebrating. But in the meantime, you stay strong. You have so far. And then, I'm sorry, that's the 9. I was thinking of this Page of Cups. Let me back up. Zelda, I was looking at this. I'm so taken with the card. Yes, you thought, see, oops. I was just wanting to see if you caught that. All right, here we are. Page of Cups is that page that tells us that there's more messages coming. That's what it's all about. This is the 9 of Cups, and that's the Yes card, the dream fulfilled. Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you, my darlings, as disgusting as they are, I want to see more messages. I want more. Do you know why? Because if anyone ever has a question whatsoever, this round will solidify it with lawyers, law enforcement, judges, the court of public opinion. There will be no question whatsoever, but there's going to be some things coming out in these messages. Because for my question has always been, why was Proctor chosen to be the lead investigator? I think we all know the answer, but that's my question. Why was he chosen? It's not an accident. I don't even think he was on duty. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the 9 of Cups, duh. I saw this Page of Cups, then I saw the 9. Oh well, long day. 9 of Cups, there we're back on track. Aren't they pretty though? I wouldn't mind having a set of these chalice-looking cups. This 9 of Cups, each cup is fulfilled. Your cup is about to run over, my darlings, because you're going to see a lot happen. Let's put on another row. Let's put out another row here. And of course we have Moisha, Now, tell us what we're going to be seeing. The High Priestess. Oh, you darling, you little sneaker. The Emperor. Oh my goodness, you little stinker. And the Seven of Pentacles. Let's read this row. This High Priestess, beautiful little gal here. Oh, I say she's a little stinker because she knows when to hide things and when to release it. She's a spiritual little fellow. And all water in the tarot come from the High Priestess robes. But you see this beautiful arc. I'm going to call it an arc, but it's actually, she's got a circle there. You see that? And then she's holding on to a scepter. She's enlightened. We are about to be enlightened very soon, very quickly, with all of this more information. I know it's disgusting and it may seem weird, but my darlings, you need to want to see it too. Because something is in those messages that we will not be able to let go. And that's why people want to hold them. This High Priestess is all about timing. She's a spiritual little gal. She, in the original deck, holds the Torah on her lap. The books of Moses, the first books of the Bible, the Septuagint in the Greek. She is one that, in fact, I'm going to tell you a little history, just real briefly. She was actually a real nun, a real priestess that was very spiritual and could tell the church when things were going to be happening. And you know, the boys' club didn't like it. So the poor priestess, the poor nun, went away. She got her ticket to paradise. But that's the dark side of this. But I'm going to tell you, my darlings, there's more coming. And this Emperor card, I believe we should all strive to have this energy. Also the sign for Taurus. Now, I don't know what sign Proctor is, and it doesn't matter to me because I don't usually go by astrology signs. But if you'll do me a favor and not put full names in the video, put initials. We'll know who they are, but let's be careful. I value you and I value this channel, and it's a privilege for me to be here. This Emperor, the counterpart is the Empress. He is stoic and wise. I like to call him the King Solomon card. And it's because he is fair. He has a lot of experience. And you can say this can be a judge. This is a card in which you see this right before you get to a situation in which you are getting justice. One way or another, justice is coming. Justice for John will be here. I think he's getting justice already. Because actually some of these people who said what they have been saying are now, gee, they're not so crazy. The Seven of Pentacles, there's a place for everything. But this is people trying to get organized. You see, they're trying to get organized behind the scenes, so it just doesn't look as bad. And I'm sorry, they missed that boat. They lost the ticket, and they're not even going to be able to tread water on this. Sad. Sad. Let's see what else is happening. I'll make sure I get my cards right this time, my darlings. All right, here we are. The Hanged Man. Not so much in stress, but it's kind of this is very interesting because he is also enlightened, but you see what they did with his halo? They made it a shadow. So if you would turn the card this way, look what it looks. It looks like a halo there, right? He's not so much in stress. He can get out of the situation if he wants to. But this is a card that tells us to look at things from a different perspective. And that's why I'm telling you, instead of not wanting to see anything more, I want to see it. I'll take that burden from you. You don't have to look, I will. I'll take it. I'll gladly take it from you. Because I want to see exactly what this guy is made of. Because I already know it, and you do too. But I will also tell you, I think that he has and is involved with some other very dark activity in my perception of how the cards are laying out and what have been shown over the weekend. That is shocking. And you will find some buried truth. The Page of Wands. This page tells me, of course, fire element. She is, look how pretty she is. Look at that. Isn't that cute? How creative these cards are. This Page of Wands is telling us that there's going to be something that seems to be very creative come out. Perhaps some things that are deeply hidden that will be brought forward with this high priestess energy that tells us, oh gosh, look, they got really creative. If she please, it's over. But if she doesn't, it's an episode, right? This is interesting because now we have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles tells us that they had choices to make. The Pentacles doesn't always mean money. It can mean a choice that causes monetary value or the lack of monetary value. There's a choice one way or another. A choice one way or another that someone, and the energy of John O'Keefe has shown me a couple of times, to say the least, that someone that was involved, he did not recognize who was that person. And over the weekend, I saw a couple of cards that pretty much said, oh, that person has been made certain that nothing will be said. Now, I'm not saying anything. I don't believe a ticket to the upper room was received, but I believe that there was an understanding. The Tower. Most people don't realize that the Tower card means government. And look at this. Beautiful in their demise, right? The demise will be beautiful. Watching the shaking of the foundation, just like an earthquake, and falling piece by piece. Maybe even 47 pieces. Strewn across the land and the lawn and the area. This Tower card tells us that it doesn't matter who, where, what. When karma has come to fruition, lightning strikes and it will happen. Can't run from it. You can run, maybe, but you can't hide. This Ace of Pentacles. Another beautiful card. This ace is all about timing, and it's timing, I'm going to say from this summer on. We just have a few days left until the summer. It's a new moon right now. Get your rice jars out, right? It's a new moon right now, but pardon me, this ace is, I'm just going to say it's all about timing. And again, it's a money card. And my question is, I want to know how the Chronicles of the Ham are paying for these lawsuits. They've got some big attorneys here. How? How is that happening? This is the card that I love most of all. The Justice card, also the sign of Libra. Look at that double-edged sword straight up. Air elements. The air elements are not only our thoughts, but our communication and the legal system. She's standing here just as adorable as can be, knowing that that sword can cut both ways. It can cauterize or it can cut down. Right now, we seem to be weighing the evidence, no pun intended. We seem to be weighing the truth. Let me know in the comments if you like these cards, my darlings. I do. And thanks again to my darling who sent these to me. We're getting out the Cartomancy because they tell us quite a lot what is going on. And yes, the cards are dark. They're dark today. And no pun intended. But they have been dark all weekend. And I've not been reading them this weekend. You know I like to read the Cartomancy. It definitely tells me a story. It's like a good friend. I know that might sound a little silly, but it's true. This right here is a recognition of needing change. That's from the Chronicles of the Ham. Change was needed, but it's too late. They're realizing this now. Let me get Moisha. We're going to save these two to last. This Two of Clubs, equivalent to this Two of Pentacles or Pentacles. There's some uncertainty in decisions. Well, you think? If you could go back and redo everything, what would you do differently? Not play the Weather Girls? And by the way, if you do look at those lyrics, we looked at those on Saturday night. You know, our words can cast spells. I know some don't like to hear that, but you know what? Why do you think we call it spelling? Because we spell things. Why do you think people get upset and they want us to hurry up and they say, you know what? Spell it out. Well, you know what? I'll just leave it at that. Who do you think? Okay, anyway, I'll leave it at that. This is the card right here. Of a woman who was involved. There's a young man involved, and this is the card. A very earthy Virgo, a very dominant male. And the only one in this scenario that I know of is by one Brian Albert. Now, listen, this is entertainment purposes only, right? This, I'm just laying out a few cards. I'm a tarot card profiler, right? And yeah, we're just going to do that. Forensic. We deep down dive, and we do it a lot. This young man here has some decisions to make. And he's coming up with more decisions because, you know what, he's made some bad decisions, and I don't know who told him to do what, but I can tell you this right now. Going off into the wild blue yonder, oh no, that's not right. That's not the right branch. Going off may not have been the right decision, but it is what it is. You know, hey, thank you for your service, right? Hello. Now let's get back to these, and this is a spring card. We are actually in spring right now, and a lot of these things are coming into fruition, and there's a brand new beginning that we're going to start seeing. This card, and we're going to talk about this card first. There's some financial worries from the Ham Defendants. The Chronicles of the Ham, there's concerns coming about money. And the more this drags on, I'll leave it at that. This card, from a medieval standpoint, and you know how I like that medieval stuff, right? Hello. This, from a medieval point, is a lack of trust. Someone in this equation has been swindled. It was not John. It was not anyone from the ham section, from the pork rinds. Sorry. It was no one. I have to laugh because, you know, it was no one. It's not Karen, and it's not Turtle Boy. Proctor was swindled. He was marked as a throwaway. Don't think that they weren't smart to understand that, hey, look, he's a fall guy, and what's he gonna do? Is he gonna sing? Because if he sings, we can say, wait a minute, he was the investigating officer. He knew what he was doing, or so he said. And wouldn't it be easy for him to blame us for this? And guess where Proctor goes? Where he probably will be going anyway. But this is a card of being swindled and then not having trust. But here's the part that should impress everyone. And that is, you see these here, these 4 clubs. The clubs, or I'm sorry, the 4s in Cartomancy are that, you know, they're the card that pretty much says, oh boy, you're riding the fence on this one. Things may not go so well for you. Well, guess what? But this card, from the medieval way of reading, from the 14th and 15th century onward, has meant being in bed with the devil. And who do you think the devils are? Don't put names in the chat. Just, I'm being dramatic. You know that. All right. Last card. The 6 of Cups. There's another 4 of diamonds. On the bottom is the 6 of hearts. And right here we have the 5 of swords. Interesting. Interesting. Someone is going to feel like they are winning and that they can walk away from this. I don't think so. I think they're going to be pretty much looking over their shoulder. The 6 of Cups is now memory is starting to step in more so than not. Have they left out a very important piece of this? Have they forgotten something that they should not have? Are they all on the same page? Have they written down their show notes? This 4 of diamonds, air element, it's all about doubt. And the longer that we go on, I can tell you this, Proctor is very much doubting. In fact, I'm also going to tell you, given the circumstances of his text and people not knowing or understanding what has happened, my darlings, There are some people that don't like this, and it's very unfortunate, and I feel sorry for his children. His wife, I don't know. But this is a card that basically says wait and see. Proctor needs to take care of now what he says, what he does, where he goes. This card here is a card that tells us now to become very suspicious. Even though it's a heart and it looks pretty and nice, it's a water element, and we need to get emotionally involved only to a certain degree. Not to the point where we faint. We don't want to be hothouse lilies. What we want to be is that emotionally involved till we stick to our guns, we plant our feet, we dig our heels in that much more, and we watch and wait. Because if you have ever doubted that nothing is going to happen, I'm here to dispel that. I believe it's not only going to happen where people are going to be held accountable, but I do think there may be some loss. I can't help myself. Got the Piotnik deck. Loyal to the end. And yes, there will be some sickness along the way. And I believe what has happened yeah, we'll just say that. But they're true, loyal to the end. This little doggy, if you look really close, happens to be in the card laying on someone's grave. Thanks for being here, my darlings. Join me Thursday night for Help I'm Haunted for a special edition. I'm going to be putting a Nancy Guthrie video on True Oracle. Watch for that. I will announce it here in the community tab. Make sure your notifications are on. Make sure and I will put True Oracle right here in the subscribe, so you can tap on that subscribe. Make sure when you see the drop-down message that you click all, because sometimes you don't get your notifications if you don't. I'll be reading on this again. Here we go, my darlings. Might be daily reads again. Try not to worry. We're going to see it unfold.